welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. So glad you could join us for dinner tonight. I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce you to one of my favorite things. This is Fred's Grandma Velma's cast iron skillet. And to me it's very, very special. She was a really kind, sweet woman that I knew before I knew Fred, actually. And this is her pan, and I feel so blessed to have it. It's the oldest piece that I have. She's been gone for a long, long time, and this pan was made, I don't think it was new when she got it, but it's was manufactured in Denmark, and its brand is Krone Cast, and I've never seen another one. I'm sure somebody has, and if you have, let me know in the comments, because I'm interested in any information about this pan. So Grandma Velma, which who everybody called Mama Armstrong, by the way, made a lot of food in this, and if I told her that I was going to make a gluten-free quiche, she probably wouldn't understand, because she's been gone a long time and people used to didn't talk about gluten, and I never heard of quiche until I was grown. So we're going to make a gluten-free quiche, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to make a potato crust. And since nothing's going to cook nice crispy potatoes the way cast iron will, we're going to cook it in Grandma Velma's pan. Okay, we're going to start with the potatoes, and you've got to know I'm very excited to be able to use my new food processor. And we're going to shred up some taters. I've got here 5 potatoes, but they're fairly small. Okay, and I'm going to pour these over into a jelly bag. And I'm not, as I usually do, putting these in cold water to keep them from turning, because I want to leave that starch in there. A little of this liquid. And here's my pan. The pan is warm, not hot, and the lard is melted. I may not need all that many potatoes. It's kind of hard to tell. We'll see. And salt. Tiny little bit of pepper. This particular pan is an odd size. It's not as big as a 10, but it's bigger than a 9. I'm going to tamp this. Make it as thin as I can while still covering the whole surface of the pie, of the pan. I do want this to come up the sides pretty far. Your goal here is to get it as thin as you can with no bare spots. I'm going to put this in a 425 oven for 20 minutes. I'll check it. I want this to be crispy and brown. So 5 minutes either way, we'll make a judgment call. Okay, while our crust is baking, browning, crisping up, I have here a ½ pound of sausage. You can use any kind of sausage you like. This is breakfast sausage. You might like to try chorizo. But whatever is your favorite sausage, you want it in very small pieces. I'm going to add, that's a medium-sized onion, chopped pretty finely. And about a couple tablespoons full of sweet red pepper. You use any pepper you want. If you like hot, you go right ahead. Because I think you season each part separately, even though we did put salt in the potatoes, we're going to add, that was about a quarter teaspoonful. I'm going to say salt to taste. And if you want to use black pepper, now's the time. I'm using what I usually use, just a tiny little bit of red pepper flakes. Now let's talk herbs. You can add just about anything you want to this. Thyme would be good, rosemary would be good. You know, this is a method, not really a recipe. The quiche that I'm making, you can make it many different ways. But I'm not adding any additional herbs right now, and I'm not adding garlic. Okay, here's our crust. Now, it's not brown all the way, but it's dried out on the bottom. This was 25 minutes in the oven. Not 20, as I told you. It takes more. I have a new stove. I'm just getting used to it. So we're going to assemble our quiche, and as soon as I took this out, I turned the oven down to 350. So I have a ½ cup of chopped up cheese. You can do grated. My cheese was sliced, so you can't really grate that. Then we have our meat. Spread it out. Then I have a ½ cup of drained salsa. I'm going to spread that out. Some of the tomatoes are still in fairly large pieces. This is why I call this a Fiesta. Quiche. Here, 5 eggs, ¼ cup milk, salt, pepper to taste. Beat, beat, beat. Pour it all over and around. Try not to go higher than your crust. You might anyway. Just let it go down in there. This needs to cook on 350 for 30 minutes. Set my timer for 25 because I'm going to put a little cheese on top and I don't want it to get really burned. So into the oven for 25 minutes. Okay, and we need 5 more minutes. Yes, I know I'm going crazy with the cheese. Going back in the oven for 5 minutes. Hash brown Fiesta quiche. We're going to let this cool for about 5 minutes and then serve it up. Well, you know, I broke a rule here. I cut it before it was actually cool. But I'm hungry. Just couldn't wait. So I'm going to have a bite. That's yummy. Let me get just a little of this crust. Our hash brown crust. This is comfort food. Got that nice brown crust under there. And fluffy eggs. Sweet salsa. Give it a shot. This is a great brunch food. It's also a good Brenner food. Breakfast for dinner. Thank you for joining us on Debbie's Back Porch. Glad to have you with us. Hope to see you again tomorrow.